Okay, so this is a basic concept behind the Nyquist plot. So let us see the relationship between the open loop transfer function and the characteristic 1 plus GSHS. Okay, GSHS is the open loop transfer function, and 1 plus GSHS is like addition of 1 into this open loop transfer function. Okay, so we need to find out the relation between these two. Now, for example, if the open loop transfer function is x plus jy here, okay, and this is the mapping of the contour in the S-plane into GH plane for this particular open loop transfer function. Okay, so this is the contour in a GH plane, you can see. So this point is minus 0.5, this point is 1. So if I add 1 into this open loop transfer function, okay, if I add 1 into this open loop transfer function, I can add 1 into this real part of this complex number 1 plus x. Okay, so only real part here will get changed, imaginary part will be the same. So if I add 1 into this open loop transfer function, what will happen to the contour in a GH plane? That will be get shifted by 1 unit on the right hand side. For example, this minus 1 plus 1 will become 0. This minus 0.5 plus 1 will become 0.5. So here you can see when you add 1 into this open loop transfer function, this particular contour is get shifted to the right side by 1 unit. Okay, so here you can see the shifted contour here. Okay, now this is the shifting, whatever the shifting we have done. So that will result into this particular shifting in the contour. Okay. Now we will see the relation between the origins of the GH plane and the origin of the 1 plus GH plane. Now here the origin of 1 plus GH plane is this. Okay. And how in the GH plane, that point is related to the minus 1 comma 0 point, because when we shift this by 1 unit, this will become the origin of 1 plus GH plane. So that is the relation between the origin of 1 plus GH and the GH. So origin of 1 plus GH is minus 1 by 0 for a GH point. Okay. So this is the relation between the origin. So if we consider the relation between the pole of GH and pole of 1 plus GH. So this is the, let us consider this open loop transfer function s plus 1 upon s into s plus 2. So if I add 1 into it, so if I simplify this, so I will get this particular transfer function. Now if you see here, the pole of GSHS and the pole of this particular 1 plus GSHS same. Okay, those are same. So we can say that pole of GH is equal to the pole of 1 plus GH. Okay, so that is the relationship between these two. If you see the Nyquist criteria for this particular mapping, for this particular 1 plus GH function, so that will be n is equal to p minus z. In the for open loop transfer function, what we have seen, n is equal to p minus z, but we have seen the encirclement about the origin in GH plane. Okay, now for a 1 plus GH, if you want to determine the stability for 1 plus GH plane, okay, using the open loop transfer function. What is the open loop transfer function? GH. Now, in all Nyquist plot, in polar plot, or in Bode plot, we use an open loop transfer function. Open loop transfer function is GSHS. Okay, so we use this transfer function to determine the closed loop system stability. Okay, so by using this open loop transfer function only, I need to determine the closed loop system stability. Okay, so for that purpose, what I will do, I will use this criteria in such a way that I will be able to determine the closed loop system stability. Okay, now just now we have seen that origin of this 1 plus GH plane is the -10 point in a GH plane. So by using this contour, I need to determine the stability of this system, okay, the closed loop system. So that is the thing here. So that's why I am choosing the encirclement about -10 point in a GH plane, because that is the origin of 1 plus GH, right? Just now we have seen. So I will check the encirclement about -10 point in a GH plane, and here P will be number of poles of 1 plus GH. Okay, so poles of 1 plus GH is equal to the poles of open loop transfer function. Just now we have seen S and S plus 2. So poles of 1 plus GH is equal to poles of GH. Just now we have seen. So here poles of 1 plus GH is equal to the poles of GH. So that will be inside the contour. So these are the open loop poles inside the contour. So what we can see, we can say that P is an open loop pole inside the contour. And if you see Z here, number of zeros of 1 plus GH, number of zeros of 1 plus GH, that will be equal to the closed loop pole inside the contour. So how these two poles are equal? Let us see this closed loop transfer function. What is a closed loop transfer function? G of S upon 1 plus GS into HS. Okay. So if you solve this, you will get that the closed loop poles is equal to the zeros of 1 plus GHHS. So here you can see this is 1 plus GHHS function. Zeros of 1 plus GHHS is equal to the closed loop poles. Okay. So we can say that number of zeros of 1 plus GH is equal to the closed loop poles inside the contour. So what we have done here, if we just simplify this, so this will be the encirclement about the -10 point. Here what we have determined, P is equal to poles of open loop transfer function. This is the open loop poles inside contour. Okay. And what is the Z? Z are closed loop poles. So this relation we have found. Now, if you want to determine the stability of any system, what you do? If you want to determine the stability of the closed loop system, what you will do, if you have a transfer function of that system. Can anyone tell me? Am I audible?
Check the poles.
Yes, closed loop poles. I will check the closed loop poles location, right? So here my main interest is this Z. Okay. Now, if I simplify this equation, so that will become Z is equal to P minus N. Okay. So what is the P here? Open loop poles. So now while drawing Nyquist plot, what I am using? I am using the open loop transfer function only. So I have with me the open loop transfer function. So I know that for this open loop transfer function, there are two poles. Okay. One at 0, one at -2, one at origin, one at -2. Okay. So I know the P value. Okay. So I know the P value. So I know this value. So what I will do, I will draw the Nyquist plot for this open loop transfer function. Okay, so that will be in GH plane, and I will just check the encirclement about this -10 point. Okay, so if I check that encirclement, I will get the value of N. Okay, so by using these two quantity, I will determine the Z. Okay, if I determine the Z, what I will get? I will get the closed loop system stability. So this is the Nyquist criteria. This is the idea behind the finding out the stability using the Nyquist plot. Okay. if this concept is not get clear, when we take a problem, this concept will become clear it will get clear. Okay, so don't worry about this. I just want to show here that the poles of GH is equal to the poles of 1 plus GH, and the number of okay, so here I just want to show you that by using the open loop poles and by using the number of sorry, let us continue. So we will determine the closed loop poles by using the open loop poles and the encirclement about -10 point of a Nyquist plot in a GH plane. Okay, so in this mapping, what we have done, we have used the contour on this left hand side. Okay, and we have used the contour on this left hand side, and then we have done the mapping and plotted this plot in GH plane. Now, if we look at this, then if we look at the Nyquist contour, our area of interest is this right hand side of the S plane. Okay, so this right hand side of the S plane is our area of interest. So why we are choosing this Nyquist contour on the right hand side of the S plane? Because we need to find out the closed loop poles which are in the right hand side of the S plane. That's why we are choosing the Nyquist contour like this. Okay, so here the radius of this semicircle will be infinity, right? Okay, because we need to cover the entire right hand side of the S plane. That's why the radius of this particular semicircle is infinite. So what I will do, this is a Nyquist contour, right? Using the open loop transfer function, I will map this Nyquist contour into the Nyquist plot. So that is a plot in a GH plane. So Nyquist contour mapped through the open loop transfer function, that will become the Nyquist plot in a GH plane. Now, whatever the closed loop poles which are in the right hand side of the S plane will be enclosed by this closed loop path. Okay, so we will be able to determine the number of poles inside number of closed loop poles inside the contour using this Nyquist criteria formula. Z is equal to P minus N. Okay, so like this way we will be able to determine the closed loop poles in the right hand side of the S plane. So just see this, the closed loop system stability criteria. So we just summarize it, that point. N is equal to P minus Z, where N is the number of encirclement around the -10 point in a GH plane. If N is greater than 0, that encirclement will be anti-clockwise. If N is less than 0, that encirclement will be clockwise. Okay. And here P is what? Poles of GH inside the contour, means open loop poles inside the contour. And what is the Z? Closed loop poles inside the contour. So these two are the main factor we will consider. Okay. And what contour we have selected? Entire right hand side of the S plane. So whatever the Z I will get, whatever the Z I will get, that will be the closed loop poles inside this contour, So like this way, I will be able to find the number of poles inside the contour, or we can say the number of poles inside the right hand side of the S-plane. Okay, so that is the point here. So like this way, we will be able to determine the stability of any system by analyzing the open loop transfer function of the system, okay, or plotting the Nyquist plot for the open loop transfer function of the system. Have you got this point? Any doubt here? Any doubt? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt here? Should I repeat
No,
or? Okay. ठीक है. So there are different types of Nyquist contour. So depending on the pole location, those contours are based. Okay. So let us see this first open loop transfer function. Here the first order transfer function is there. And there is a finite pole at -1 by t. Now here you can see the Nyquist contour is like infinite radius semicircle, which is covering the entire right hand side of the S-plane. Okay, so this is the normal form of Nyquist contour, and here you can see the direction of this contour is like clockwise direction is there. Okay, now if you see the second type of Nyquist contour, so here this is a second order system. There is a one finite pole and one zero at origin. Okay. Now while drawing a Nyquist contour, so I will just draw the pole location here. So this will be -1 and this will be at 0, right? So here you can see two pole locations are there. Okay. Now one thing is important here. When you draw the Nyquist contour, don't include any pole in the path of contour. Okay. So you just need to exclude this pole at origin. So while drawing the Nyquist contour, we have drawn Nyquist contour like this. So here this will be very small circle, very small semicircle, which will be having the radius 10, very small. Okay. So radius tends to 0, like that way that semicircle is there, but it is excluding this pole. In the Nyquist path, there should not be any pole. So we have drawn this contour like this. Okay. So there are two circles, semicircles. First one is this infinite radius semicircle and this small radius semicircle. Okay, in this contour. Let us see the third type. So the open loop transfer function is 1 upon s square plus a square. So here there are two poles, repeated poles, not a repeated pole, the complex poles on the imaginary axis, a and minus a. So when you draw the Nyquist plot, there will be two small semicircles. Okay, so like this way you will draw. So you will exclude those poles and you will draw this thing. Okay. So like this way, you can draw these semicircles. Let us see the fourth type of Nyquist contour. So now here you can see there is a one pole at origin and there are two complex poles on the imaginary axis. So similarly here, three small circles are there, okay, which are excluding those poles. So like this way, the Nyquist contour will be there. So these are the types of a Nyquist contour. So if you want to draw Nyquist plot for any open loop transfer function, you just need to draw Nyquist contour first, and then you will map that Nyquist contour using open loop transfer function into Nyquist plot, okay, in a GH plane, right? So let us see the mapping of Nyquist contour, how the mapping will be done. Now, This is a general form of Nyquist contour. There is a pole at origin. That's why we have drawn this Nyquist contour like this. Okay, this is the most we can say they ask in problem like this contours only that there is a pole at origin. So you will get a 4 regions in this contour. So let us see these regions one by one. So the first region is this line. Okay. So now if you see this line, this will be like S is equal to j omega. Okay, right? S is equal to j omega. But here, this omega will start from 0 and it will end at infinity. Okay, omega 0 to infinity. And mapping is what? S is equal to j omega. And when we vary omega 0 to infinity, we just draw the polar plot for that particular system, right? So this mapping is a nothing but the polar plot because we are varying omega from 0 to infinity and S is equal to j omega on this axis, right? Okay, so the first region mapping is you need to replace S by j omega in the open loop transfer function, and for this transfer function in frequency domain, you just need to vary omega from 0 to infinity. So you will be able to draw the polar plot. So this is nothing but the polar plot. Okay. So this is the mapping of this first region. Then the second region is this infinite radius semicircle. Okay. So I can just represent this infinite radius semicircle by replacing S is equal to R into e raised to j theta, where R is the radius of the circle and theta is the angle. Okay. So if you see R is tends to infinity. So this is an infinite semicircle. And if you see the theta, so theta will be from plus 90 to minus 90 degree, right? So this is a plus 90 degree line. This is a minus 90 degree line. So theta will be from plus 90 to minus 90 degree in the clockwise direction. Okay. So this is the second region, right? Let us see the third region. The third region is what? Third region is S is equal to minus j omega, means from minus infinity to 0. Okay. So minus infinity to 0. So if you see this will be the like a straight line where mapping is S is equal to minus j omega. So if you replace S is equal to minus j omega in open loop transfer function and you vary omega from minus infinity to 0, so that will be inverse polar plot. Okay, why this will be the inverse polar plot? We will see that thing. Okay, so the first region, this line gives me the polar plot, and this third region gives me the inverse polar plot. Okay, so when we solve the problems, you will understand that once you find the mapping of region 1, the mapping of region 3 will be very easy. Okay. So we have seen 3 mappings: first region, second region, and third region. Let us see the mapping for the fourth region. So fourth region is what? To do the mapping of fourth region, you need to replace S is equal to R into e raised to j theta, where R is what? R tends to 0. So that will be very small circle, which is around this pole, right? That will be very small circle. And what is the theta? Theta will be, so this is a minus 90 degree line and this will be the 90 degree. So from minus 90 to plus 90 in anti-clockwise direction. So this direction will be anti-clockwise. Okay. So here I will just put that thing. Okay. So this will be the anti-clockwise direction of that small circle. So in this way, we map this 4 region using the open loop transfer function, and we get different kind of plots in a GH plane. Okay. So let us see why this third region is an inverse of this first region. Okay. Why this third region is an inverse polar plot. So in a polar plot, what we do, we just replace S by j omega in polar plot. And in inverse polar plot, what we do, we replace S is equal to minus j omega, right? So let us consider this open loop transfer function. So there are three poles, one at origin, two finite poles are there. So I will replace S by j omega. So this will give me the polar plot, okay? And for inverse polar plot, for third region, what we are doing, we are replacing S by minus j omega, right? So for third region, here you can see the inverse polar plot will be minus j omega. So here you will replace S by minus j omega. So whatever the poles in the inverse polar plot are the complex conjugate of this particular polar plot poles, right? So those poles will be mirror image to the poles in the polar plot. Okay, so that's why if you draw the polar plot like this way, so this is a red color plot is a polar plot. Okay, when you vary omega from 0 to infinity. Okay, so this plot will be like this, and the inverse polar plot will be the mirror image of it. So this will be the mirror image of the inverse polar plot. Okay, so here we are varying omega from minus infinity to 0. Okay, so this will be the mirror image of polar plot, because poles are complex conjugate, polar plot poles and inverse polar plot poles. Okay, so that's why third region will give us the inverse polar plot. Okay, so up to this point we have seen the S-plane mapping. The Nyquist plot is based on that particular concept. Then we have seen the different types of Nyquist contour. So generally Nyquist contour is a overall right hand side of the S-plane, because we need to find out the poles which are in the right hand side of the S-plane, the closed loop poles. Okay, then only we can determine the stability. Then we have seen the mapping of Nyquist contour. The four region mappings, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So first region gives me the polar plot. Means if I want to do the mapping of the first region, I will draw the polar plot. If I want to do the mapping of third region, I will draw the inverse polar plot. Okay, and these two, the second region and fourth region, will change according to the transfer function. Okay, it will be depend on the transfer function what those things will be mapped in the GH plane. Okay, so that is the important thing here. Now let us see example, so you will understand how to draw the polar plot. Nyquist plot. Okay, so this is example number 1. Here open loop transfer function is given, and there are two poles at origin. Okay, so there are two poles at origin. So first step is what? First step is you need to draw the Nyquist contour. So there are two poles at origin. Okay, so I need to exclude those poles while drawing the Nyquist contour. So just like this, I have drawn the Nyquist contour by excluding these poles. So as you know, if there are poles at origin, there will be 4 regions in the Nyquist contour. First one, this will be the first, this will be the second, this will be the third, and this will be the fourth. So let us do the mapping of regions one by one. So as you know, the first region is just drawing the polar plot. So S will be replaced by the j omega, and in the open loop transfer function 1 upon j omega square, that will be, because 1 upon S square is the open loop transfer function. So that will be minus 1 upon omega square. Okay. So if you see the magnitude will be 1 upon omega square, and phase will be minus 180 degree for all the frequencies. So let us draw the polar plot for this. So there are 4 steps in a polar plot. Okay, so first step is you need to find out magnitude at omega is equal to 0 and phase at that point. Okay, so at omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be infinite, phase will be minus 180. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 0 and phase will be minus 180 degree. Okay, So like this way, we got two magnitudes and phase. So let us find out the ending direction. So what is the ending direction? Phase 1 minus phase 2. So minus 180 degree minus 180 degree. So that will be what? 0 degree. So this will be positive. So clockwise direction. Okay. So we got a clockwise direction, and our this ending angle, head angle and tail angle are the same. So no need to draw the ST, the starting direction. Okay. So, and there are no finite poles also. Okay, only poles at origin is there. So no need of finding out the starting direction. So ending direction will be clockwise, starting direction will be also clockwise. Okay, so let us start our drawing the polar plot. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude is infinite. That's why I'm starting the polar plot like this. Okay, and phase is minus 180 degree. This is a minus 180 degree line, right? So I'm starting polar plot from here. Now, at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0, but angle is minus 180. So here I will start like this, and I'll just approximate like this. So at this point, magnitude will be 0 and angle will be minus 180 degree. So this will be the polar plot, okay, for open loop transfer function. So that is the first region mapping, this region mapping, right? The first task is completed. Let us see the second region mapping. What is the second region? Infinite radius semicircle. Okay, so for that purpose, what we do in mapping, we replace s by r into e raised to j theta, where limit r tends to infinity and theta will vary from plus 90 to minus 90. Angle will be vary from plus 90 to minus 90. So if I put this s into the open loop transfer function, that is 1 upon s square, so that will be radius of circle will be, so this equation I will get, right? So if I put r is equal to infinity, so I will get a radius 0, right? So radius of circle will be 0. And if you see the angle, if this e raised to j 2 theta term will go on the upper side, the angle will be minus 2 theta, right? And for which value of theta we are varying, we are varying the theta value from plus 90 to minus 90 degree. So what will be the minus 2 theta? That will be minus 180 to plus 180. So this will be a circle which will be having the radius 0. So generally this circle is neglected in many textbooks or in many explanation. You will not see this circle in an Nyquist plot because this is very small circle. So we will also neglect this circle because this is circle having the radius 0. So we will neglect this circle. Okay. So no need. So this particular when we map this particular infinite radius semicircle using this open loop transfer function, we got a circle at origin which will be having the radius 0. Okay. So that is, we can neglect that part. Okay. So let us do the mapping for the third region. So third region is what? So third region is this. Third region is this. S is equal to minus j omega, right? S is equal to minus j omega. So if you see this, so that will be inverse polar plot, right? So now if you see this particular polar plot, what will be the mirror image of it? Mirror image of this polar plot will be the inverse polar plot. So that will be like this. Okay, so here you can see this will be the inverse polar plot, which is a mirror image of this polar plot. Okay, and just see the directions. Okay, here you can see the clockwise direction is there. So clockwise direction is there. You see the direction is get like continued. Okay, so we are varying omega from 0 to what? 0 to infinity and then minus infinity to 0, like that way. So here this inverse polar plot is just a mirror image of polar plot. So no need of any calculation here. Okay, you have drawn the polar plot, you just take an inverse mirror image of it, you will get an inverse polar plot. Okay, so region 3 mapping is done. So let us see the region 4 mapping. So region 4 mapping, what is the region 4? This is a small circle which is having the radius 0, means r tends to 0. This is small circle. Okay, so that circle is mapped like this way. So you put S is equal to limit R tends to 0, R into e raised to j theta. Okay, where theta will vary from minus 90 here, minus 90 to plus 90. Okay, so here you can see theta will vary from minus 90 to plus 90 degree. Okay, so just put this S value into the open loop transfer function, that is a 1 upon S square. So if you put that, you will get radius of a circle infinity, and you will get angle minus 2 theta. So that will be from where theta is from minus 90 to plus 90. So minus 2 theta will be from 180 to minus 180 clockwise. Okay, so if you see here, this region 3, the small, this region 4, the small radius circle, map using this open loop transfer function. So in GS plane, what we got? In a GS plane, we got an infinite radius circle. Okay, infinite radius circle. So mapping of that small circle result in the infinite radius semicircle. So which will start from plus 180 degree and it will end at minus 180 degree. And radius will be what? Infinity. So how to draw this region 4 mapping? Okay, how to draw this circle? It is very important now. You just see this. So now at this point, the inverse polar plot ends. Okay, so this is a 180 degree or minus 180 degree line. Okay, so at this plot, at this point, inverse polar plot ends. So you will start drawing that infinite radius semicircle like this. Okay, and this semicircle will end at minus 180 degree. So that point will be the starting of the polar plot. So starting of the polar plot is this. So this will, these 2 points will be very close to each other, but I just want to show you that where it ends. That's why I'm drawn this like this way. Okay, so it will end at the starting of the polar plot. So this infinite radius semicircle will start from the end of inverse polar plot and will end at where the starting of the polar plot. Okay, like this way, this circle will be there. Now, one note I need to mention here. So here there are 2 poles at origin. Okay, so number of poles at origin, if there are 2 poles at origin in the open loop transfer function, there will be 2 infinite radius semicircles. So this will be the one semicircle and this will be the second semicircle. Okay, so number of infinite radius semicircle in a Nyquist plot is equal to the number of poles at origin. So if there are 2 poles at origin, there will be 2 infinite radius semicircle. Okay, so here you can see that particular circle start from where the inverse polar plot ends and will end at where the polar plot start. Okay, so have you understood this? Any doubt here? So like this way we will draw the Nyquist plot for the open loop transfer function by doing the mapping of Nyquist contour. Have you understood this? Any doubt here? You can ask me freely. Hello? Any doubt up to this point? Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक. Okay, so let us see the second problem here. So here the open loop transfer function is given and one finite pole is there, that is at -1, and we need to draw the Nyquist plot for this. Okay, so this will be the Nyquist contour. So there are no poles at origin, just a finite pole is there at -1. So there are only 3 regions. So region 1 will be from when omega is equal to 0 to omega is equal to 0. That region will start, and at omega is equal to infinity, that region will end, where s is equal to j omega. So that is a polar plot region. The second region is the infinite radius semicircle. Okay, this will be the second region. And third region will be this inverse polar plot region, right? So now this is a simple Nyquist plot. So first what we will do, first we will draw the polar plot. So region 1 mapping, region 1 we will map. So here we can see s is equal to j omega, that is put it into the transfer function. We just find it out the magnitude and phase. Okay, so let us draw the polar plot for this. At omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be 10, right? If you put omega is equal to 0 in this magnitude formula, you will get 10 as a magnitude. And angle will be 0 degree. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 0, angle will be -90 degree. Okay, so let us see the ending direction. Okay, now the ending direction is the phase difference between these two, pi1 minus pi2. So that will be positive, right? Positive 90 degree. So ending direction will be clockwise. Now starting direction, there is a finite pole near to the imaginary axis. Okay, so starting direction is also clockwise. So let us draw the polar plot. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude is 10, is this point. At omega is equal to 0, magnitude is 10, angle is 0 degree. So this is 0 degree line, right? So I started polar plot from this. At omega is equal to infinity, I'll just drag up this. So at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 0, but angle will be -90 degree. So this is a -90 degree line. So, and the ending direction and starting direction is a clockwise. So this will be like this. Okay, it will start from here and it will end at here. So like this way, region 1 mapping is done. Means we have just drawn the polar plot for the open loop transfer function. Let us see the region 2 mapping. As we know in the first mapping that region 2 gives the circle which is having the radius 0, that region 2. Okay, so let us see again. So where s is equal to limit r tends to infinity, that will be r into e raised to j theta. Okay, so if we put this s into the open loop transfer function, you will get this gh. Okay, so when r tends to infinity, radius of the circle will be 0, right? So we can neglect the region 2 mapping. Okay, so let us see the region 3 mapping. So that is the inverse polar plot. That is the inverse polar plot. We have just drawn the polar plot like this. So inverse polar plot will be mirror image of it. The inverse polar plot will start where the polar plot ends, and it will end where the polar plot started in this problem. So this will be the inverse polar plot, right? So this will be the total Nyquist plot, right? This will be the total Nyquist plot for this open loop transfer function, 10 upon s plus 1. Okay, so if you want to determine the stability, okay, if you want to determine the stability, you just need to check the encirclement about the -1 point. So how many encirclement about the -1 point is there? There are no encirclement, so I can say that n is equal to 0. So I can say that n is equal to 0. So I got a value of n, right? Now I need to find out the value of p. What is a p? The open loop pole inside the contour. Okay, so if you see the contour, there are no open loop poles inside the contour. Okay, so p will be what here in this condition? What is the value of p here? P will be 0. P will be 0. So P will be 0. So what will be the Z? The number of closed loop poles in the RHP or contour, that will be 0 minus 0, 0. So we can say that the closed loop system is stable system. Okay. So like this way, you can determine the stability of the closed loop system by drawing the Nyquist plot for the open loop system. Okay. So closed loop stable system. Closed loop system will be stable system. So like this way, you can find out the stability using a Nyquist plot. Okay. So like this way, you can draw the Nyquist plot for any transfer function. Any doubt in this? If you have any doubt, you can ask me at any point. So have you solved this Nyquist plot examples in a tutorial? Hello? Hello? Let us see one more example here, how to draw the Nyquist plot for the open loop transfer function. Now here, the open loop transfer function is given. There are two poles, finite poles, one at -1, one at -2. So this -1, -2. So I have drawn the Nyquist contour. It is a contour just like the previous problem. So first region mapping will be polar plot. That will be S is equal to j omega. So you will calculate a magnitude, phase, and you will just find out the omega, magnitude and phase at omega is equal to 0, and magnitude and phase at omega is equal to infinity. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be 5 and phase will be 0. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 0 and phase will be minus 180 degree. Now what is the ending direction here? Can you help me to solve this? What is the ending direction here? So that will be phi 1 minus phi 2. 0 minus 180 degree, so it will be plus 180 degree. So it will be clockwise. Okay. And what is the starting direction? Finite pole near to imaginary axis. So that is also clockwise. Okay. So here you can see the polar plot for that. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude is 5, angle is 0. And at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0 and angle is minus. So this is a minus 180 degree line. No? So like this way, and the directions will be the clockwise. So like this way, you can draw the polar plot. Okay. So this will be the mapping of this first region using the open loop transfer function. Let us see the mapping of the second region. So this will be the second region, right? R2. As we know that is the infinite radius semicircle. S will be equal to limit r tends to infinity, r into e raised to j theta. So if you put this into the transfer function, you will get a radius of the circle 0, because when r tends to infinity, radius of the circle will be 0. So second part mapping is neglected. Okay. So let us see the third part mapping. So as we know that is the inverse polar plot. So here you can see. So this red color plot is polar plot, and this third region mapping will be the inverse polar plot. So that will be the mirror image of it. So like this way. Okay. So this is the overall Nyquist plot for. You just need to determine the number of encirclement about the -10 point. So what is the number of encirclement about the -10 point? That will be 0 at this point. So So n will be equal to 0 here. And what is the value of P? So what is the value of P? Number of open loop poles. These are the open loop poles, -1 and -2. Inside the contour. Inside the contour, there are no poles. So P will be equal to 0. So P will be equal to 0. Okay, so we got the value of N and P. We'll just find out the value of Z. And what is the Z? Can anyone tell me what is the Z? What is the Z? What is the Z?
Closed loop poles.
Closed loop poles in a Nyquist contour. Good. So that will be 0. So closed loop system will be stable system. So closed loop system will be stable system. Okay. So like this way you can just draw the Nyquist plot. First you will draw the Nyquist contour, then you will do the mapping for different regions, and then you will get a Nyquist plot. And by using that, you will determine the stability. Okay, closed loop system stability. So let us see this fourth problem. Within 4 minutes we'll cover it. Okay, now in this fourth problem also we need to draw the Nyquist plot. So there are two repeated poles at origin. There is a pole at -1. There is a pole at -2. So here you can see there are two poles at origin. There is pole at -1. There is a pole at -2. So Nyquist contour will be like this. So there will be 4 regions. Whenever there is a pole at origin, there will be the 4th region. Okay. So let us do the mapping. So first region mapping will be the polar plot. So S will be j omega, magnitude will be this. Okay, and pi will be this. Okay, so let us find out the magnitude and phase at 0 and infinity point. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be infinity, phase will be -180, and at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 0, phase will be -360. So let us find out the ending direction. -180 minus -360, so that will be +180. So it will be the clockwise angle. And what is the starting direction? That is also clockwise, because there is a finite pole near to the imaginary axis. So let us draw the polar plot for that. Okay, so here at omega is equal to 0, magnitude is infinity. Okay, angle is -180 degree, and the direction will be clockwise. So polar plot will start like this and will end at -360 degree line. So -360 degree line where magnitude is 0. Magnitude is 0 means at origin it will end. So it will end like this. So this will be the polar plot. Okay, approximate polar plot. Let us see the mapping of the second region. So generally that region gives the radius circle which is having the very small radius, that is 0, almost 0. So here you can see the second region mapping where S is equal to limit r tends to infinity, r is equal to e raised to j theta. So if you put this in open loop transfer function, you will get a radius of a circle 0. So we can neglect this region R2. Okay, so region 2. So no need to draw anything for that. Then region 3. Region 3, as we know that is the inverse polar plot. S is equal to -j omega. So here you can see this is the red color plot is a polar plot, and what is the inverse polar plot? Mirror image of it. So it will be like this. Look at the direction. Okay, direction is important. Here you can see the direction like this, clockwise. So like this direction should be there. Okay, so we have drawn the third region mapping, but there is a fourth region also because of this pole at origin. So that this fourth region, so that will be small radius circle where angle will go from -90 to +90. So anti-clockwise direction, right? So that is a fourth region. So when S is equal to limit r tends to 0, r into e raised to j theta, if you put this in open loop transfer function, so what you will get? You will get a radius of a circle infinity, and you will get angle minus 2 theta. If this e raised to j 2 theta term goes to the upper side, angle will be minus 2 theta. So angle will be minus 2 theta, but theta is varying from minus 90 to plus 90. So total angle for this mapping will vary from plus 180 to minus 180 degree. So as we know, this will be the infinite radius circle, which will be start from 180 and will end at minus 180. So if you see this mapping here, so this infinite radius circle, you can see it will start where the inverse polar plot ends. So it will start like this. Okay, 180 degree. From 180 degree it will start. It will start like this, infinite radius semicircle, a circle, and it will end at where the polar plot start. So at this point, okay, at this point it will end. So like this way, we can do the fourth region mapping. So as you know, sorry, as we have seen that the number of infinite radius semicircle, we have just drawn the note. Number of infinite radius semicircle in a Nyquist plot is equal to the number of poles at origin, right? Similarly, here we can see, we can verify that. Is it right or wrong? So here you can see there are 2 poles at origin. So what we got, the number of infinite radius semicircle here, there are 2 number of infinite radius semicircle. So this is the first one and this is this second one. Okay. So like this way we have drawn the Nyquist plot for the open loop transfer function. So how many encirclements are there for the around this minus 10 point? So this will be the first, right? Clockwise encirclement, and this will be the second. So there are 2 clockwise encirclement. Okay. So as you know that if there is a clockwise encirclement, we take n as a negative, right? So here n will be equal to minus 1. Here also n will be minus 1. So total n will be minus 2. So there are 2 encirclement which are clockwise. Okay. So n will be minus 2. And what about P? So number of open loop poles inside the contour. So there are no poles inside the contour. So P will be 0. Okay. So n is minus 2, P is 0. What will be the Z? P minus. So what will be the Z here? So here formula is that n is equal to P minus Z. So Z will be P minus n. So what is the P? 0. What is the n? Minus 2. So what is the Z? 2. So what it indicates? It indicates that there are 2 closed loop poles inside the contour. And what is the contour? Are inside the right hand side of S-plane. So contour is drawn in right hand side only. Na? So there are 2 poles inside the contour, closed loop poles inside the contour. So we can say that this system is unstable system. Okay. So like this way, you can determine the stability of the system.